When the poet John Keats suggested that a thing of beauty is a joy forever, it could well have been a description of the new Cadillac ATS Coupe, had it not been published in 1818. Even with a U aboard, we'll never know whether Keats was given to prophecy. But in the case of the ATS we can augment Mr. Keats with this corollary: a thing of beauty is more of a joy if it goes fast, thrives on switchbacks, stops in a hurry, and generates a compelling bond with its driver. The ATS answers positively to all of the above, and anyone who fails to see beauty in this sporty variant needs to visit an optometrist. Soon. Seductive V6, the coupe rolls onto the scene with two engine options: a 272 horsepower 2.0-litre turbo 4-cylinder standard and a 321 horsepower 3.6-litre naturally aspirated V6, both nourished by direct fuel injection. The two-door model escapes the disappointingly mundane base ATS sedan's 2.5-litre 4. The Turbo 4 actually huffs up a little more torque, 295 lb-ft versus 275, but the V6 vectors a bigger herd of ponies to the rear wheels. In an age of long-stroke engine designs, Cadillac's V6 is something of an anomaly, over square 94mm bore, 85.6mm stroke and willing to rev 6,800 revolutions per minute power peak. 7,200 revolutions per minute redline. It delivers no lag throttle response and makes seductive noises as the tack needle spins. Even better, it does all this on regular fuel despite an 11.5:1 compression ratio, thanks to direct injection. This translates into 18 miles per gallon city and 28 highway on the EPA dynos, and we were pleasantly surprised when, at the conclusion of vigorous testing, we'd recorded 26 miles per gallon. More gratifyingly, we also logged 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, a quarter-mile run of 14 seconds flat at 102 miles per hour, and a top speed of 146 miles per hour. Those numbers stack up pretty well versus competition from the Teutonic trio that has long set the pace in the Luxo sports coupe and sedan biz. Fancy dancer, more important. The two-door ATS also does better than hold its own in terms of fancy footwork. High chassis rigidity, a firm suspension, GM's magnetic ride control, a slightly wider front and rear track than the sedans, and quick 2.7 turns lock-toe-lock ZF rack-mounted electric steering combine to provide the sense of connection that prompts drivers to seek the long way home and sends them forth on lengthy weekend follies with no particular destination. Our test car wore Bristone Pattons RE050 ARFD summer performance run flats, staggered front to rear size 22,540 and 25,535, on 18-inch aluminium wheels. The combo yielded impressive skid pad grip 0.91 grams and contributed to strong braking performance. In repeated 70 to 0 mph stops, we recorded only 6 feet of difference between shortest 162 feet and longest 168, the latter coming first, when the brakes were cold. We recorded no trace of fade. The little caddy exhibits gunfighter quick reflexes, minimal body motions, and nicely weighted steering, although it could benefit from a little more on-center feel. There's moderate understeer near the limits of adhesion, although those limits are quite high. A minor downside here, although the suspension is well tuned for athletic responses, it can feel overly stiff, a trait magnified by the run-flat tires, provoking some head toss on gnarly pavement. While a manual transmission option is limited to the 4-cylinder turbo, the 6-speed automatic isn't exactly a come-down. In manual mode, it doesn't ram shifts home with the authority of, say, an Audi DSG, but it's close, and the transmission will hold shifts against redline, no autonomous upshifting. It also matches revs on downshifts, and it's seamless in full auto mode. Measure for measure, weak points? Not many. The rear seat is set up for only 2, and if those 2 are tall their heads will scrape the ceiling. Solution: make sure all your friends are under 5 foot 10. Facebook friends exempted. The front buckets complement a well-appointed, handsomely designed interior, but for a car capable of 0.91 grams and cornering, the bolsters should be more pronounced, particularly at the torso. We're expecting recaras when the ATS-V is revealed at the LA show in November, but this car already performs well enough to warrant more support. Beyond that, there's the frustrating Q touchscreen system, of which Cadillac seems so strangely proud. Don't forget the ambitious pricing. The 3.6 starts $7,155 higher than the 2.0T, but get used to it. Joe Anderson, Cadillac's new boss, doesn't want the division's products to be perceived as Q-trade luxury. Will the ATS stand its ground against luxury coupe contenders? In our 2012 Mano sedan comparo, BMW 328i versus ATS 2.0T, the Caddy finished second. But this is a different game with a different body style and a different powertrain. Considered on its own merits, the ATS 3.6 measures up as an elegant blend of athletic style, gratifying performance, and technical sophistication. It may lack the cachet of a BMW, but it's a thing of beauty in its own right. We bet Mr. Keats would find joy in it.